Hi, I'm Ken Jr. and welcome to TrainWorld TV. Here you'll find the latest and greatest in model trains. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new to our channel, we're glad you're here, and I invite you to click the subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you'll never miss a video. Now, we'd also love to send you exclusive deals and special announcements that you won't find anywhere else. So be sure to sign up for our emails, TW Text, and stay connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Don't forget, you can shop online at TrainWorld.com for all your model train needs. Now, without further ado, enjoy today's video.
All right, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to the year of the big boys and the big boy catalog and the huge, big Lionel announcement for spring 2026. And who better to discuss these beautiful specimens than Ryan from Lionel? How you doing, Ryan?
I'm good. It's good to be here with my two favorite big boys. It's been a fun announcement. It's been a busy couple of weeks since we dropped this one, and we actually had this planned for the Volume 2 catalog, which will be out in mid-July. And then with all the excitement around the locomotive moving across the country, and with the idea that maybe we could try and get these into people's hands before the end of the year, being America's 250th and all, we thought, let's see if we can pull it up a little bit and squeeze this in at the end of the production schedule, and try and get these delivered towards the end of the year. So we rolled it out a little bit early. We had the art ready to go and said, why not? We're in the digital age now. We can drop some of these things a bit early, and it's been great. A lot of people very happy to see this coming back, and I think as it makes its way across the country and more people get a chance to see one up close and hear it and feel the ground shake underneath their feet as it goes by, we're going to get more people saying, yeah, I have to have that now on my railroad at home too. Even if you haven't been a Union Pacific fan in the past, you're going to be after this thing thunders by for sure.
That's right. And for the big boy show, we brought out the head honcho. Ken Sr.'s on tonight. How you doing, Dad?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be here and talk about the big boy. I think out of all the manufacturers and trains, Lionel knocked it out of the park with all their 250-year stuff. It's just, there's so much of it, and it's all fantastic, new and great. And the big boy was really kept under wraps. I mean, it just came like, boom, you announced it, and everybody's talking about it. Great paint jobs, great style. You made a big boy a few years ago, but there is none around of those. They're gone. They dried up, and we sold a ton of those big boys. And with the back orders we took already on this one, we're going to sell another ton of these things. It's just everybody wants the biggest engine ever made. It's just and like you said, Ryan, the tour that they're doing again. It's just, I never saw one personally, but when it gets up to this way on the East Coast, I think I'm going to go see it and see how massive this thing is in person.
Yeah, and out in Pennsylvania, and also it will be up for New York as well. But they're talking about you have to take buses just to get where to see the big one. There's going to be so many people. And so it's not even just the model train community. We're talking about, rail fans, just non-trained people, just people that want to see like just an unbelievable experience. It's just this really encompasses everything. So we're truly excited about that. And what better way to kick off this segment and live show than a raffle? Let's get everybody excited about this. Ken Sr. wanted to do something really cool tonight and do a nice raffle. So he's got a beautiful Lionel 250 boxcar, if he could find it somewhere.
Okay. Now, I'm just,
You got Ryan.
We got the legacy version, right?
when I saw this car come in, I said, that car is huge. You got to put it behind a Big Boy or an engine like that. This
That's
thing
right.
is incredible. And the stars in the flag have LED lights, so they light up on both sides. And I think Lionel was sold out on these because I think I grabbed the last ones about a week ago. This is like the most attractive, huge car I've ever seen. It's amazing. It's amazing.
So put in the chat hashtag Lionel 250 and the state you're from, and we'll keep on. We'll pick out a winner. And that's definitely a really awesome piece. And does that light up, right? On the,
the stars and the flag.
Wow, very cool.
The stars in there. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's actually, I had to put it on the track because I was thinking, was it the stars on the outside that light up? So I put it on the track just to make sure I know what I'm talking about. But it's the first time I took it out of the box. In the box, it just looked fantastic, and they're selling like crazy.
That's great. Yeah, we actually had to reorder those. We blew through the first round of those when they came in, and so there's another order in process on those. But
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But so if you run out, don't worry. It'll be a little bit yet, but we'll get you restocked. Hopefully, still in time for this year's celebration.
But if you want them now, I got them.
Now. Don't wait. Get them now so you have them in time for your 4th of July celebrations and all that. All of the America 250 stuff. I know we talked about it last week on the HO show and the HO boxcar. How well that's doing. I just saw the order numbers on that today, and we got to order more raw materials for that here because we're making those in house.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing to have for us. We're happy to have that kind of a problem. But yeah, definitely order it because we're struggling to build enough.
Yeah. And for the Big Boy, it's such a huge engine. You need big cars. When you start putting little cars behind it, it kind of looks a little bit. You got to get all the big cars. And you guys been making so much big stuff lately that it's impressive. I mean,
that's going to look really nice behind the Big Boy for sure.
Yep, without a doubt.
And
maybe I could make the next run in another color. I'm just throwing it out there. A red roof, maybe red instead of blue.
Nice.
And these become very much collectible,
Well, it sounds like we should do a custom run on the red roof.
That's kind of what I'm hearing. I'm hearing maybe another custom run coming together.
That's a good idea.
Tell me if I got time.
And we're gonna have to do a screenshot of Ryan's face when my father thought my father was gonna raffle off a wooden train. But all right, very, very good. So we're excited about that, and we see a lot of comments coming in. And let's kick this off because I know a lot of people want to get this started right away and talk about these amazing big boys. So. I guess, right, if we could talk about the catalog and this specific piece, why you guys chose this, because I just want people to know out there the what's going to be different with this new Big Boy for this year.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things we wanted to do on this, because the Vision Big Boy that we've done a few times now, it's already really a successful engine, and there's not really a whole lot more room in here to cram in anything new. But with the 4014 making its trip, we're always looking for things that we can do that are unique and that are changing on the real locomotive that we can update. And I think it's a small detail, but it's one everyone has noticed right away, is that they've added this special plaque and an eagle on the pilot up above the headlight this year for its cross-country trek. And so we definitely wanted to make sure we got that on the model, as well as some of the other little detail changes and decoration changes that you'll see here when we turn the pages, so that not only can you get the locomotive, but you can get it as you're going to see it. If you're seeing it for the first time on this trip and you want to remember it that way, that's the way the model's going to be. And we're doing everything we can to make it as accurate as possible to that experience.
Yeah.
Plus, it's just cool. Who doesn't like a big brass eagle on the front of a locomotive?
Yes, and that means, unfortunately, for everybody who has an existing Big Boy, you're just going to have to buy a new Big Boy to get this special anniversary edition with the eagle and America's 250 celebration. So I thought that was really neat, and I think you showed a sample on one of your live streams before.
Yeah, actually,
don't show it yet. Wait. Let's flip the page before you show it.
There we go. This little guy, right?
Yeah. There
so
you go.
My buddies Will and Ryan printed this up for me out and gave this to me out in the show in Denver, and this now sits on my desk. But thank you to you guys for getting this. And so slightly larger than the version that will be on the O-scale version. But, really cool piece.
Hold on, bring it up one more time on the big screen.
It's very, very nice little thing. So this is what we are reducing in miniature that will be on the front of the locomotive, just like the real thing there.
Wow.
So the real engine is going to have a plaque like that with the eagle?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nobody else is doing that. You're the only guys.
Well, we're the leaders of the industry.
Yeah, you are, without a doubt. Yeah. Nobody makes something bigger or better.
And you know what's interesting about that eagle, I guess for the the pre-war guys out there, the Mayflower set was one of the most unique and rare American flyer train sets out there, and it had this eagle. And everybody, it is so hard to find the set with the actual eagle, the real eagle. Yeah. And it's like one of the most collectors set. And I'm sure someone out there will chime in on the history on that. But it's like so rare to find with the original eagle. So I'm curious, 100 years from now, if people will say like, oh, I have this Big Boy, but that, that piece with the eagle becomes like collectible like that, where it's just so hard to find, interesting. You never know.
Are you going to sell them separately?
No plans to do that right now. I'm sure we will have a few in customer service, however, if yours happens to break off or something like that.
I'm worried about a guy returning one that's defective and keeping the eagle.
Well, thankfully,
you better save them for yourself.
Right. No, thankfully, the eagle's not the only thing that separates this version from some of the ones we've done in the past. So, in addition to the eagle being there, they've also added some extra striping, outlining the edges of the running boards and the tires on the wheels and things like that with the silver striping. So we've captured that here on this version also. And then we've also been able to grab some real audio of onboard cab chatter from 4014 that we'll have in on the legacy system as part of the crew talk and part of the background noises there. You'll have the some actual 4014 radio chatter. And then another cool thing that we didn't illustrate here on the catalog, but we did call it out as a feature. As it's going from state to state, there are two flags mounted on the pilot. One side has the American flag and the other has the flag for whatever state they're traveling through at that time. So we will include in this an American flag and then a set of, I think it's 15 state flags for all the states that the 4014 is traveling through. So you can add those yourself on the pilot for whichever state you're seeing it in or you're modeling it in, or just change them out from time to time. You'll have that as a fun option on this as well. So some pretty cool details that we're able to sneak in on this and make it just a little bit different, a little bit more fun than the last versions, a little bit unique from the 4014 that we did in 2023 or 2020, and keeping things new. I'll also mention that, again, when you see this thing in person, the UP crews are keeping her spotless. So this one will come in a gloss finish, so you have that nice shine to it, and the polished side rods on the drive wheels there too.
Okay. Is this going to have a high gloss or a semi gloss? Or?
Not high gloss. It'll be just our standard glossier finish versus a matte finish that would give it that sort of not flat look, but duller look. This will have a little bit of shine to it, which on a black steam locomotive really does pop.
Okay.
Very neat. And just so everybody knows, this is where that the Eagle and the America's 250 celebration is, right here by the headlight. So really unique. And that Eagle is going to be molded onto the plaque, or is that the Eagle like loose?
It'll be all one piece. It'll be probably a lost wax brass casting on there for some strength.
Very cool.
One piece on the front.
I'm telling you, 100 years from now, they're going to be talking about the Eagle on this, and just a collector's item. If someone has it intact, they'll probably either lose or break or disappear. And I think it's going to be like that rare Mayflower set where everybody's looking for that original, Eagle with the engine and set. So
you're saying don't make it too durable, Ken, because it'll be more collectible down the road if we ship a few of them and they break.
That's right.
Got it.
So this is going to be factory applied, not a piece in the box that you put on.
Correct. Correct. Other than the flags, which we want you to be able to put on and off yourself, this will be take it out of the box, put it on the track, and ready to go.
What do you mean flags now?
The flags will be on the pilot, the American and state flags. There'll be one right about where Ken has the cursor there now.
Okay.
The American flag goes on the left, and then on the other side will be your state flag of choice.
Okay. And no ears on this at all, right?
No aftercoolers on this. Again, modeling it the way it looks now.
Okay.
And then this also has the oil tender. So you have all the great smoke features in the locomotive, the 3-speaker sound, all that good fun stuff. You won't have the depleting coal load in this because it's not burning coal on this trip.
Okay. With the price of oil to what it is, do you think they're going to make it all the way to the East Coast?
Well, I'm glad I'm not paying for this one, but I think they've got it covered.
Okay.
And he's just joining the chat, but only this specific unit will have the Eagle, correct?
This one will have the Eagle, and so will the American Freedom Train, which I think is on the next page here.
Okay.
We're going to put the Eagle on here as well. And that's two reasons. One, it's a fantasy paint scheme, obviously, but the Eagle, I'm not sure if this is where the Union Pacific got the idea for 4014, but when the American Freedom Train ran in 1976, the Reading T1 that pulled the eastern leg, it had a similar looking Eagle up on the headlight of the locomotive. And so we thought it'd be kind of a neat tie-in to include that here on this one as well and help sort of tie those two trains together a little bit.
Very neat.
I don't see it in the picture, though. I don't see it.
It's there.
It's there, right here. Right here.
Yeah. Okay. It's the same one or a different one?
Same one.
Same one. All right.
And the HO guys are asking for a HO Big Boy, right? So you got to get on that.
I think there's a few manufacturers out there who will probably have this well covered in HO also.
And here's with the elephant ears.
Yeah, so this is the way, as we were watching this coming up for this year, knowing that the trip was going to happen, keeping an eye on what they were doing. They snuck a few pictures out earlier in the year with the elephant ears on the 4014. And we jumped on that and thought that was probably the way it would look for the cross-country trip, and already had the art and everything done up this way. And since the art was done, we said, why not offer it this way too? Because it still looks pretty sharp in this paint, in this scheme. You don't have the extra white trim on it yet. You won't have the Eagle on this version, but you will have the smoke lifters, and they are removable. So if you want to take those off, you can do that and run the locomotive as it's looked in previous excursions.
Okay. And a good question from Peter: will both 4014s have the UP steam crew dialogue?
Yes. So with our Vision locomotives, everything has cruise road number specific dialogue. So all the numbers that are 4014 will say 4014. They will also all have the in the floor of the cab. There's a Union Pacific 4014 shield in the floor of the cab when they rebuild it. We tooled that up previously, and we'll have that in all the 4014 versions as well. So that will be accurate too.
Very neat. And I did see a question earlier. DJ Mike with the ones and twos. Any water tenders possibly in the future?
There will be water tenders. Remember I said this was originally going to be in Volume 2 catalog? There's still some more fun things to come in Volume 2. And also we're working on some more add-ons to come in Volume 1 of next year already. We've already got some things in the works for that. So we're trying to sort of spread things out a little bit for you guys so that you don't have to buy the entire train all at once.
Okay.
We'll make that a little easier on you. But clearly the hero item is the Big Boy, and we wanted to get that rolling. So yes, look for some add-on water tenders in the very near future to match these paint schemes, and probably a few other little odds and ends as well that we're going to sneak in there. And if you don't see what you're looking for in Volume 2, stick around. We got more stuff coming.
When's Volume 2?
Volume 2 should be right around middle of July. I believe it's July 15th.
Oh, wow. Okay. Right. All right, so no one booked their vacations around July 15th. Circle the date. Tell your spouse he can't take off that week. You're zeroing in on the Lionel launch date.
Right. Any more surprise announcements in between the next catalog?
It's always very possible. The way we're running around here full speed, and we can't really quite contain our excitement sometimes. you never know when we're going to drop something else out there.
Okay.
But yeah, we kind of like this idea of still keeping some big catalog launches, but there'll be some fun special announcements throughout the year to make sure everyone has a reason to keep up with us and stay engaged with the company and all the good things that we're doing.
And this one has the matte spokes and everything.
Yeah, so this is 4004. This represents the locomotives in their service life. So you have more of a matte finish on this. You've got the darkened side rods. This is one of the coal-fired versions. So you see you've got the depleting coal load tender on here. And as you look at the pricing on these, the oil versions are $100 less MSRP than the coal-fired versions, because the coal versions have that depleting coal load. So as the engine's running, the coal load in the tender gradually drops. And the harder you work the engine, the faster the engine drops, or the faster the coal drops in there, which is pretty cool. And then you can also activate the feature full on manually with your Legacy remote or CAV3 app. So you can trigger that too if you want to demonstrate the feature, or then of course to reload the coal. And when you reload it, you'll hear the sound of the coal being reloaded into the locomotive, which is another pretty cool feature. One of the things, we haven't really done that to any of the other locomotives yet besides the Big Boy. It takes up a lot of room in that tender, but it's a really neat one. And then in the engine, you've got the stack smoke, whistle smoke, safety valve smoke, and blowdown smoke. So you've got 4 smoke units in all of these, regardless of the tender. You've got 4 smoke units, 2 speakers in the tender and 1 in the front of the smoke box. These have a really great whistle sound. There will be a baffle on all those speakers too, so you get the full feel of the sound coming out of these locomotives.
Very neat. And
is there a separate flyer going to be available for the Big Boys, or just online?
Just online. This will be the flyer for the Big Boys. Yeah.
Okay.
And Paul is heading to Scranton. Great stuff. If anybody plans on seeing the Big Boys, I highly recommend look into it ahead of time. Make reservations and books, because I was informed on the Scranton and Steamtown, things are booking up. Hotels are selling out. It's huge. We're talking, tens of thousands of people, just crazy. So make sure if you're planning on seeing the Big Boy, make arrangements ahead of time. This is huge history event.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is a wonderful thing. Encourage everybody to go and take part and witness it. And thanks to everybody at Union Pacific and all the other railroads and museums and communities along the line who are going to be doing everything they can to accommodate people. Please be respectful and responsible out there too. Expect those crowds, as they say when you're traveling. Pack your patience, right? Trying to chase this thing and get pan shots as you're driving alongside it down Route 16 or something like that is probably not your best plan of attack. So, and it's a steam locomotive. It's big. It's a train. Be safety conscious. no one really needs a picture standing in the middle of the tracks, right? Stay back a good bit. Be safe. Be courteous to the other thousands of people who are out there on either side of you trying to get the same picture too. Don't walk in front of people. Don't do mean things. Be respectful of everybody out there and enjoy it, because you probably won't get to see it, and certainly in this part of the country again for a very long time.
Yeah, very well said. And Tom had a good question. Does the smokestack to different chuffs per revolution like the older Big Boy?
So the original Big Boy that we did had two smoke units in the stack, so that both stacks chuffed at different places. This won't do that. There's only one stack in the smoke. We push the other smoke unit to whistle steam, I believe, in these. But they do still the chuffs do stay in sync with the sound of the drive wheels. It will have the drift chuff, so you will hear the drivers go in and out of sync with the 8 chuffs per revolution, and you'll get that synchronized exhaust. And as the train gets faster, the exhaust will be faster, and so forth. So you'll have all of that in there, and you can vary the intensity of the smoke, but both with the 3 different smoke settings in the engine, but also you can use the train brake too to increase or decrease your labor settings and sound. And as you increase that train brake, you deepen the sound of the chuff and increase your exhaust output too in the locomotives. So you still have all that great stuff, and these things, when they're fully loaded up with the smoke and you get everything going, they'll fill up your room in no time flat.
And Larry, I believe only 1 or 2 with the flags.
Yeah, we're going to do it on the 4014 Tour Edition here on the first page. We're going to include it on that. Right now, no plans to include it in the others. Again, that's just because they're using that on the train for this tour across the country.
But this one the American Freedom will have the eagle, no flags. This one will have the eagle and flags, as in the brochure. So, if that helps you. And specific crew talk for the 250th. So
we did get some specific recordings. So again, all of the Big Boys will have road number specific crew talk. So you'll hear the cab number announced, whether it's 4014 or 4004 or 4018. They'll all have that. We've been able to get some actual radio audio that we'll put in the 4014s that came through the cab of the 4014. So that's on the 7 key, I think it is. 7 key, 4 key or 7 key. When you press that and you get the different random background noises and radio chatter and so forth, we'll have that on that key. So you'll have that audio there as well.
Now on the Freedom Big Boy, the cars you came out in book 1. You got all those Freedom cars will go with that Big Boy.
Yeah, that would look great hauling the Freedom train cars. There's some more things coming for that line in the next catalog as well. So definitely, if you've got that full train, I know the Big Boy never pulled it in 1976, but that's a pretty healthy consist if you've got the whole train, and it would look great behind a Big Boy. So we thought we would do that as a patriotic nod here in 2025.
Yeah, and Rye, James, this would be pretty cool if the Big Boy stopped in front of Trainland. That's right. I don't know if the Limbrook town would appreciate the huge, massive steam engine, or if it would even make it out here. But that would be something for sure.
Maybe it should go out to Montauk. End of the line.
Very cool.
I'm sure they had a lot of places trying to get this there as they were planning out their tour route. And at some point, the size of the engine itself probably comes into play a little bit on these.
Yeah.
I don't know that the Grand Central and some of the other terminals were designed with Big Boys in mind. In fact, I can tell you that
the Big Boy is going through New York City. I don't know about that one. Very funny. All right. So, and then
of
this
course,
is the hot dog.
we've got to do everyone, this becomes sort of the cult favorite with the 49er scheme, or the hot dog scheme, as some people call it. And so we thought we would offer that. We did this on the Lion Master Big Boy in the Volume 1 catalog, our semi-scale version. We thought we would throw that out here for this one as well. This one also has the coal tender.
Yeah, always popular. Anything with color is popular.
And then we wanted to do a nice Lionel Lines version. So this one, we kind of went after that very nice, formal, almost like an executive limousine type of look to it, with the gloss black, the nice flags for a pop of color on the smoke lifters, and then the Lionel lines lettering. And for a road number, we just, 40s seemed odd. So for the Lionel version, we just numbered it 4884 after the wheel arrangement to give it a fun number.
Yeah, I thought this was really classy. Just the subtle on the elephant ears, the American flag, and Lionel lines. I thought it was nothing like overly done. It was just classy, just a really beautiful engine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are the ears available separately at all?
We do not have those separately now. No, I may talk to customer service and parts and see if they want to order a few extras again, as to have some on hand in case there's damaged or replacement parts needed. But not planning on stocking those just as a straight number that we would sell widely.
Mm-hmm.
Very neat. And the Pilot Edition.
Pilot Edition, also really cool. We've not done the Pilot and the Big Boy up to this point for some reason or another. And every time we go to the show with our engineering prototypes, we always get comments on how great the locomotives look without any paint on them at all, because you can really see all of the fine detail that typically just gets covered in a coat of black. And so if you want something that's really a conversation piece, the Pilot models really, really get you there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, for Christmas, again, we haven't done the Christmas or the Polar Big Boys in scale before either. So we went all out on these with some great Big Boys. So Santa has all the power he needs to get down from the North Pole this time around. Some great colors on the Christmas version here. Again, you've got the elephant ears. You've got the art on the tender that's somewhat in the line of last year's or 2024's. I can't remember now. The years are all running together. Our Christmas boxcar with the old time sort of postcard look to it. So you'll have that on here to tie in with some of those cars that we've done in the past. Really, really turned out quite nicely.
Yeah. What is the wording on the tender?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Okay, it's a little hard to read in the brochure type online.
It looks like Santa with
Santa and a child.
Okay.
Now I know those colors of Christmas is with is it Saint Nicholas or the Europeans European Santa Claus uses that kind of coloring. I know my wife from Italy. She always said that's Christmas to her. That type of.
That's Babbo Natale.
And we will of course do for both Christmas and Polar. Polar will get some of the Polar dialogue like we do in all of our Polar locomotives from the movies. And Christmas will have special Christmas dialogue and sounds as well. So we'll do some of the different whistles that you'll have as options and bells and things like that. We play around with all that fun stuff when we do these.
Very neat. Polar.
Again, stepped it up a little bit from the Lion Master version. A little bit more complex, a deco scheme here on the full scale Legacy Vision Big Boy. So you've got some extra striping and colors. The smoke lifters, which add a nice little touch. A little bit of snow accents on the roof. The polished side rods. Really good looking locomotive. The gold on the cylinder heads. I think this one turned out very nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yeah, never enough Polar stuff. Anything with Polar sells. Anything. Yeah. Now we need more cars.
Yeah, well, if you've been buying all of the Polar cars over the years, you probably need about a Big Boy to move them at this point. Sure. So we'll keep those coming as well. Big Boys and Polar Berks seem to be every 3 to 5 years. They're people crying, asking for them again. When are we going to do them? So
well, there's so many new guys jumping in every year. It's just like every time there's a catalog, there's new people jumping in. Keep making catalogs.
Yeah.
And Dr. Farmer Knight had a good question. The paint finish, is it a matte or a gloss or?
I want to double check on that, but I'm pretty sure it's a light gloss on this. We just got our sample in of the Polar K4, the brass hybrid from would have been volume 2 last year. I think we announced that about September. And it's got a little bit of a gloss finish on it, and it looks spectacular with this blue and maroon coloring on it. I should have had that here to share with you tonight, but too focused on big boys. So I think people will be really happy with the way these turn out.
Yeah. Now, when you say like a slight gloss, is it like the metallic blue or just the slight?
It's not like the metallic color changing blue that we did on the Berkshire in the last run. But it is more of it's not a dull finish on the engine. It has that. It's also not high gloss where it looks like it's dripping wet, and caked in that finish.
That's it. Covered your the big boy experience.
Well, that's all. That's it for what we've come up with. But you guys have you guys have chapter 2 of the big boy experience here for sure.
That's right. We went a little crazy, but we are excited to announce 2 exclusive projects with Lionel. We're excited. Let's see if this works. Okay, the Chris Rains exclusive, and this is RBP Trains. If you're not familiar with him on YouTube, you should be. He's all over. Chris Rains, he's a really great guy and does a lot for the hobby. Just one of those great guys out there, and a really cool paint scheme on this big boy. And I think it looks really nice, and we're excited to see how that comes out. We're still tweaking a few things with Chris, and hopefully we'll catch up with him maybe tomorrow just to finalize some details. But I just think this paint scheme just looks tremendous, and we're excited to show that. And I did want to show a little bit of his video, and if you haven't seen his video, make sure you check him out on YouTube, RBP Trains. As I said, he does do a lot for the hobby, and just a good
major Lionel collector. Major Lionel collector.
Yep. Let's see here.
And we already passed the minimum, so we're making it.
Nice. Good to hear.
Folks, hope you're having a great week. In this video, I have some big news to share with you. We've added a new member to the RBP family. This is Milo the cat, our little kitten. I'm kidding. That's actually not the big news. I got to get this cat out of the room. Give me a second. The king has returned. Lionel has released the VisionLine Big Boy again. It just came out. I know. They just did this a few years ago. It's kind of confusing, but at the same time, it makes a lot of sense because 2026 is all about the Union Pacific and the excursion that the big boy is taking from the West Coast to the East Coast. I am like the last person to tell you about this. This is old news at this point, but hey, this is the context of why Lionel's doing this in the first place. And to further celebrate this monumental event, my friends at TrainWorld and I are crazy enough to present to you the RBP Trains paint scheme on the Union Pacific Big Boy.
Another YouTuber's custom run?
Yeah. Yep. It is not April Fool's. In fact, this is May. So we are way past that. And yes, I think we are nuts. We're really trying this though. Why not? This also marks the 5th custom run that we've presented. We started with the ES44 diesel, the diesel switcher, the A6 steam locomotive, the Docksider, which is coming out later this year. That's the Lion Chief version. And now the 4041 RBP Big Boy. If you're new to TrainWorld and the TrainWorld team, it's an amazing group of people who really understand what's going on in the hobby. Ken Jr. is the face of the organization. You see him all over social media. And he calls me the week of York. He calls me up with this New York accent. Hey, Chris, I got something to run by you. And without telling me what it is, he just assures me it's a big project. So I hang up the phone and I have no idea what's going on. Because believe it or not, I don't even know what Lionel has coming out. A lot of people think I'm in the know. There's a lot of people I know who are in the know, and I am not one of them. Fast forward a few days. It's the Thursday of the York show, and at this point, everyone's kind of figured out Lionel's going to release a VisionLine Big Boy. And I have this aha moment. I'm thinking in my head, this is insane. I bet Ken called me because he's thinking about doing an RBP custom run of the Union Pacific Lionel Vision Big Boy. I'm like, how are we going to even get that project off the ground? The very next day is Friday, and Lionel gives the news. Hi, this is Ryan Kunkel. Congratulations, we're making another Big Boy. Internet explodes with cheers and jeers about that, but for the most part, it's all good. And I realize that's what this is all about. So I texted Ken and I said, is this what this is? And then he texts me back this picture, this rendering, and says, what do you think? And my jaw hits the floor. I'm like, this would be an amazing project, but it's crazy because this is such a big locomotive. It's a big commitment for anybody to sign up for. So after a lot of back and forth, we decided to leave no stone unturned. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, we're going for it. The engine is available for pre-order. If we don't get enough pre-orders, we'll move on. We'll cancel.
So we're not going to play the whole thing. Make sure you head to Chris's Reigns YouTube channel. It's a 10-minute long video, so we're not going to stay all night to watch it. But make sure you check his channel out and make sure you subscribe. Actually, Chris Train, he's actually on here tonight. So make sure you head to his channel, give him a sub, and watch the full video. It's really great. He does a great job, and he's very energetic and enthusiastic about the hobby. One thing I do love about Chris is we get so many people coming into the store, and people that aren't even into trains, just general people every day, and they want to get into trains because they saw Chris. And I think that's what's so special about Chris and other influencers just like Chris. It's truly amazing. And it's just a great feeling when I see that. So I'm sure when he goes to York and other places and he gets that as well, it's just tremendous. So it's been a absolute pleasure to work with Chris for all these projects, and along with Lionel, because Lionel has really been a great partner to put these custom projects with. So we do appreciate the Lionel team and both Ryan, John, everybody there who's been helping on these to get everything going. So we do appreciate it. Yes, and Chris, we will make it happen, and we're excited that the response has been overwhelmingly enthusiastic. So we do appreciate everyone out there for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to echo that. Chris is a wonderful ambassador for the hobby, model trains and railroading at large, whether it's Lionel or O-Gauge or just the fun world of trains. He is one of those guys that just gets it and makes it come alive for people. And we've been watching him for years and enjoy it. He's also nailed the impression of me. So that's really good.
And I got to tell you, Ryan,
we want to make sure that this one comes out right the way you guys want it to. And we're going back and forth now.
And Ryan, a lot of guys like this type of video because you detail everything, what it is and what it's going to do and what's new, and you elaborate on the whole project, and that gives people a lot of confidence in what they're buying. They don't have to wait until it comes out and go, oh, it's a surprise. You really tell us what we're getting, and even for our investment also, you give us a lot of confidence in what we're buying there. And thank you very much for your expertise.
Yep. And
it's my pleasure to come on here and do this. And we know these are big, they're big investments for you. And there's also a lot of stuff to understand about these. And you want to know all the details and which one has the eagle, which one has the flags. Is it going to be gloss or matte? Is it going to be, where's smoke coming out of on this one this time, right? So it's nice to get out there and take the time and try and explain that as many times as we can, so that not only so that you're comfortable with what you're getting, but so that you really understand and know some of these things that may not jump out at you off of a printed printed page in a catalog or on a web page. And just the video from Chris there, seeing the locomotive in motion and seeing the work lights under the walkways and those little details that you don't always pick up on in catalog art, it helps to sell that magic and get the point across that these are kind of an experience and something fun that we're building here. Not just a toy train, but you're really building an experience and memories to go along with it.
That's right. And Chris is going to have to work on his New York accent, though. But
and just to be clear, this is VisionLine also.
This is VisionLine, yes.
All of them are VisionLine. And is the box going to be anything special?
It'll be a black VisionLine box.
Okay.
And quite honestly, we should throw in that if you don't have the space, or if you're not looking to put it on a mantle, Lionel also a month or 2 months ago announced these beautiful Lion Master Big Boys. So if you have tight radius and you're like, oh, these VisionLines, they're beautiful, but I don't have the room, or maybe they may be out of your budget, Lionel is making a great Big Boy, a Lion Master Big Boy, and the orders on those were through the roof as well. Yeah. I don't think they're going to be doing the tour edition with all the detail, right?
We did 4014 in gloss with the oil tender.
But that won't have the.
It won't have the eagle.
Right.
It won't have those other little things. But it will give you you will have that engine with the oil tender. I saw a question rolling through on what my thoughts were on the differences between, if you're on the fence between Lion Master or Vision. As you said, Ken, they're both really great models with a slightly different market in mind for each. The Vision Big Boy is one of those centerpiece locomotives in anyone's collection. That's first of all, it's a big boy, right? So it's big, it's impressive, it's a locomotive that in any scale is going to command attention, and so you've got that going for it. And then when you look at all the features that we've packed into this model, with depleting coal load, the 4 smoke units, the 3 speaker sound, all the LED lighting on it, the road number specific sounds, it really comes alive when you run this engine. And it's one of those locomotives that I hear most often from people as they say, got a lot of trains. The Big Boy is the one that never leaves the layout and never goes back on the shelf at all. I'm always running this one because I just love it.
Yeah.
Now, but the Lion Master, on the other hand, it's a great little runner. And while it is not full scale, it's shrunken down a little bit. The engine and tender combined are still 20 inches long. It's still an imposing and impressive.
Huge.
But it will navigate an 031 curve, so it will handle pretty much any layout out there.
That's wild.
And it still has a lot of detail. It still has great sounds. It still has fan-driven smoke. It's a wonderful, impressive locomotive. And if you have a small layout with 031 curves, you're going to get the same imposing impact of that engine on that layout as you will with the Vision Big Boy on your 072 curves. Every bit as much. So whichever way you want to go, I don't think you can go wrong. It's truly a matter of preference. And it's one of those cases where, we know a lot of people want to own a Big Boy just because it's one of those engines that you feel like you need in a collection. And this gives you 2 ways to get there, depending on your layout.
Yeah. And this is one of the exclusives we're also doing with Lionel. This is a Lion Master version, but a fantasy scheme, a Union Pacific, like the diesel on the engine. And we think it really turned out really beautiful. And we're looking forward for this coming out. And tons of people were excited about this. But when Ryan said 031, I said there's no way for a Big Boy. But they're going to make it happen. So we're excited about that. And this gentleman had a good question, right? The lighted number boards, do you know if that's correct on the Lion Master?
On the Lion Master, I'm not 100% sure. That may be an error, but I'd have to go into the next room over there and grab it off the engineering layout to confirm one way or the other.
Maybe shoot an email for that question. Not a problem. And but wait, there's more. Back to VisionLine, going back to VisionLine, high end, our the Christmas paint scheme we have been doing with Lionel, and we just did it with the Hudson, and also the 060 has been really doing very well. A lot of people love the paint scheme, and we were actually requested by a few people to do it in as a big boy. So this is just a mock-up. There's going to be a little more detailed variations just to spruce it up and spice it up a little. We may add some elephant ears, stuff like that, and just tweak the maybe wording, make it look a little bit more unique than the Hudsons or previous versions. But this is really nice looking. We're excited about it. Someone actually emailed us today asking for the elephant ears on. So Paul, if you're out there, thank you for the recommendation. We'll look into that, and that's why we love these shows and the feedback and people emailing us. It's all good stuff. But we're excited about this one, and make sure you get your pre-order in. This is conditional. As you know, these VisionLine engines are a big commitment. So if we don't get enough orders, we won't be doing the project. But if we get enough, we're going to be moving full steam. So make sure you get your pre-orders in, and it's just a gorgeous engine. And during Christmas time, there's nothing better than a big Christmas steam engine.
And when's the deadline, Ryan, for the big boys?
We want to get our orders in at the end of this month to the factory. They are expecting an order from us on the 30th of May.
So we got to get ours in before that.
So, yeah, so we'll give you a couple of days up to that to get us your numbers. But obviously, we haven't seen the big boy version of this yet. But we saw your Hudsons. They came in last year.
Yeah.
In this very similar look and feel to this, and I honestly think it's one of the best looking Christmas locomotives that I've seen come through.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of Christmas trains.
Yeah.
But you guys really hit it out of the park with that one. Following that same look and feel, change a few things so they're each their own unique locomotive, but keeping that family appearance. If anyone missed out on the Hudsons, you don't want to miss out on this one. It really is a beautiful locomotive.
Yeah.
And big shout out to my father and Lionel and Anthony who helps us with these projects. My father wanted to add all these different stuff and really make some creation, and it really came out beautiful. So I want to give my father credit for really coming up with this design and tweaking things back and forth. And sometimes I think it's just so much tweaking and going back and forth, but he really wanted to make sure it gives it that elegant and pop factor where it's like, wow. So he's excited about that.
Thank you, Ken. It's great collaboration. It's great working with and hear people's different opinions and how to create something. Quite honestly, it's very hard to do. You know, everybody's got a different vision, a different idea, and I can't imagine doing a Lionel catalog going back and forth and back and forth. It's like it must be insane. But as long as everybody enjoys the project, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. You know, everybody enjoys to see the build up to the final, and it's amazing how it starts out simple and it just keeps going and going and going. So the customs are pretty special. It's a good feeling, and it's a good product, and definitely built to order. It's not going to get run again. That's it. One and done.
Yep. And so, Paul, thank you for joining. Paul actually emailed us this morning, and I thought it was a great idea for the elephant ears to see what we could do. So we're playing around which color or scheme with the elephant ears would look the best on that. So thanks, Paul, for giving us the recommendation. It was a collaboration with customers too. So.
Kenny, why don't we do the ears with a picture of Santa Claus, but it'll be Ryan with a hat and a beard, and it'll be Ryan Claus.
Oh, we gotta have Ryan as the engineer.
Back out again for Santa Claus.
We got to show him one made up that way.
Yeah, we gotta have you as the engineer, Ryan. That's it.
No, I think you guys work really hard on this. You don't need to devalue the product with me anywhere.
Oh yeah, the Christmas wreath. Yeah,
Christmas wreath. Yes, we got to make sure it's got a wreath on front for sure, Chris.
And actually, your Christmas engine is just as nice. You know, the coloring of that is just unique to Christmas. It's just very special. Very special.
I think it shows how you can take such a simple theme and yet come up with so many completely different ideas. The scheme we chose was actually mostly one of, we picked a couple of these. We had about 16 different options from the artist of which one we wanted to go with. And we settled on some elements of several of them, but really coming into that. And you see it's a completely different engine from yours. So, sometimes we're careful. We're like, well, you want to do a Christmas one. If we're doing a Christmas one, or someone wants to do Halloween and we're doing a Halloween, or try and keep things so people aren't stepping over each other to put things out there. But when they're as different as that,
yeah,
definitely.
Can you show Lionel's again, their Christmas one? Can you do that?
Yeah, hold on.
I love that dark coloring. I tell you, I think it's unique. You never saw that before. No,
it's very different than the Christmas engines we've done in the past, for sure.
Yeah, very nice. Very
elegant.
Yeah, good stuff. Good, and that's got the ears on it, Ken. That's got the ears.
Yeah.
And the ears are removable, so that's the fun part of that. If we add the ears onto yours, and someone gets them and says, I like the look of it with just seeing all that silver on the smoke box. There you go.
Yeah, we got to talk about with Chris as well for some years. It's just a cool feature. Yeah. And all right. And one good question before we start wrapping things up, Newt. The July catalog, 3 different releases or 1 release?
The current plan is 1 release. Okay. We are working on the lay down and pulling all that together now. So the current plan is 1 release. I'm not ruling out or guaranteeing that there will or won't be some subsequent releases later in the year, but the plan for right now is one big C2 in mid-July.
That's great. So great stuff. The catalog, make sure for the July catalog, make sure you save the date. Mid-July will be the announcement for the next new catalog. But if you like these big boys, no matter what track size you have, if you want the high-end VisionLine for the large radius, we got those covered. And if you want something for smaller radius, we also have the Lion Masters as well for the smaller radius as well. So any kind of big boy, Lionel is making it for you. And they're really coming out with some awesome paint schemes and different offerings. So make sure you head to TrainWorld.com for all your Lionel Big Boys. We're taking pre-orders. We're not taking any money down. So you can make a pre-order. There's no money down. We're making the commitment here. So take that advantage and make sure you order what you want, because a lot of these, like my father said, the last Big Boy run, they sold out, and it's like no matter how many we order, it's just never enough. It's just wild. And with the tour, once people see the Big Boy rolling around the country, the Northeast, if they're not into trains, they're going to be buying this engine. It's it's going to be collectible. So make sure you head to TrainWorld.com for that. And if you didn't sign up for the raffle, make sure you drop in the chat Lionel 250, the state you're from. My father's going to raffle off that beautiful Lionel America 250 boxcar that will go beautiful right behind a Lionel Big Boy.
Yeah. And also, guys, double check your orders. Make sure you hit the right key on the keypad. Make sure you check your back order once you do it, and that's the one you actually ordered. A lot of times people make a mistake and they hit the wrong quantity or they hit the wrong number. Double check your back orders all the time. Always look at it. Make sure you ordered what you wanted to order. Let's put it that way. Okay.
That's right. And great stuff, right? A lot of great questions that we had for you. As always, you're a living Bible and a living encyclopedia. Just you know all the facts. It's unbelievable. So we appreciate you being on here and the whole Lionel team as well.
Well, I appreciate it. Appreciate you giving us the opportunity to share these and answer questions and hopefully encourage people who may have been on the fence to give you a call or check out the website and get one of these on order, so we can get our orders in and get the easy part over with and start building them.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
And Ken Sr. almost had a heart attack. Philip meant to order 10 big boys, but only meant to order 1. But he's going to keep them. Don't worry, Ken Sr. When my father sees those, he has a heart attack. He's going to have to make that investment for an error. But we're all good, Philip. Very good. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, so much for joining tonight. Thank you, Lionel. Thank you, Ken Sr. Again, if you want to see the big boy, make sure you see it in action live. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity this year. And if you want to mimic what's on the rails, Lionel has you covered. They're making a slew of different big boys covered for any layout, any budget. They got you covered, whatever you want. And make sure you head to TrainWorld.com for your big boys. Thank you, everyone, and have a great night.
All right. Good night.
Hey, everybody.